yesterday from Joe Burrow. This is starting to get, I don't want to say concerning, CC, but curious. Maybe is curious a good word for what's happening here? What is? Let me play the comments and then give us a word for this because I am confused. Burrow was asked yesterday about not playing for the Cincinnati Bengals. Take a listen to what he had to say.
Is there any world in your mind where you're not the quarterback of the Bengals next year?
I can't see that, no.
Have you ever thought about the possibility of not being the quarterback here during your career? Or
you think about a lot of things.
Okay. He doesn't see a possibility for him to not be the quarterback of the Bengals next year, but you think about a lot of things over the course of your career in terms of the possibility of playing elsewhere. I think that's probably commonplace. Probably even in your best moments with the Giants, you probably thought about, well, what if I'm not here? What if I go there? Could that to you? I had a great season. If I was a free agent, I guess. Maybe.
No, I was getting paid too much money to think about that. I'm good. I'll get paid a lot of money in my hometown. I wouldn't think about going nowhere.
Okay, so bad. I was trying to provide a hypothetical.
That's a terrible example by you.
Bad job by me. All right,
yeah,
let me put my recycled headphones back on. So then let me go back then. What's going on here? Is he okay? And the answer may be no. And if that's the case, then obviously I hope he gets okay. He says he's going to be the quarterback of the Bengals, we think, next year, but he's thought about a lot of different things. What's happening?
I don't know, man. But, I mean, listening to him and his media availability, it just seems like it's turning into catharsis, right? He's going out there and he's having a therapy session with the general public, and he's using the media as a conduit. Maybe he's just talking through what he's feeling right now and the complex set of emotions that come with yet another disappointing season. For a guy that's as good as Joe Burrow, a top 5 quarterback in our league, this is going to be the 3rd straight season that his team is outside looking into the playoffs. In the franchise, whether or not folks want to admit it, it's at an inflection point. We don't know what's going to happen with Trey Hendrickson after the season, but 8 Ball says doubtful that he's still in Cincinnati. Zach Taylor is going into what? His last year on his current contract? I don't think he's done enough to earn a contract extension, so he's probably going to be out. There's going to be a lot of change that happens around Joe Burrow. He probably also understands that the franchise doesn't want to find themselves in a situation like they did once upon a time with Carson Palmer, another guy that was the number 1 overall pick, and how things shaped out with him. So I think he realizes that this team is not going to want to trade him. And even if he wants to leave, it's going to be hell trying to get out of there. Oh, by the way, 2 of the guys that he advocated for to get paid, they got paid. So they're going to be locked into Cincinnati. I just think it's a really tough situation for Joe Burrow. And he sees right now that his team is not close to being able to compete for a title relative to all the other competition in the AFC.
He also discussed that the team has to get creative to change what's gone wrong the past 3 seasons in Cincy.
Number one, I think we have great coaches. I think we're consistently put in good positions to make plays and do our best. Obviously, there's good games and bad games, just like players have good games and bad games. But I have a lot of confidence in everybody that's putting together the plans for us week in and week out. That's not to say that changes don't need to be made. I'm not saying personnel or people. I'm just saying, what we've been doing hasn't worked the last couple of years. So, we have to think outside the box and get creative about where we go from here.
Yeah, to his credit, he is very conscious to not throw anyone else under the bus but himself. I do give him credit for that. Right? He has never said the coaching is poor. He's never said the playing is poor. He's never said the organization doesn't pay people or shovel snow for fans to actually sit in the crowd. He hasn't said anything about that. He is very conscious to only criticize himself. So I do appreciate that part of this. They have to get creative. I'm not saying personnel or people. Okay, so what do you want to run the wishbone? Oh, you want to run the wishbone? Or what are we doing here? Like, I don't understand what's happening. I hope he's okay. He doesn't sound like a guy who's okay right now with his circumstance. No. And so maybe it is that Giannis point, so to speak, of like, I don't want to have to be somewhere else. And maybe I will have to be somewhere else, but I don't know how to get to the place of getting somewhere else. Maybe it's that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I that might be it. Not being able to chart a path to get to exactly where he wants to go. But I'll say this, the organization will change everything else around the team before they decide that they're going to trade Joe Burrow. That's just the reality of it. We all know they're operating from a place of fear when it comes to how they handle number 9. And I honestly think that the first step is moving on from Zach Taylor and trying to find a head coach that has a resume that Joe Burrow respects enough to defer to their opinion on how to build the football team so they can maximize what Joey B is bringing to the table.
But now it's even more than that to me, CC. Because, again, what I'm
I'm not saying that that's going to solve it. What I'm saying is
I'm saying,
that's
but
where you
relative
start.
to Burrow. So there's a few things here. There's someone that he respects enough to defer to their decision-making around the roster. Check. We all agree on that, right? You can't – the guys he wanted paid were his guys, and I understand that. But that doesn't mean that the team is going to be made better. But now, based on the last 2 weeks of media availability, there also needs to be that same person that you're talking about, whomever that person is, needs to be the one that says, Joe, if something is going on in your life, meeting with the media like this every week is not going to help. Like, we need to address what's going on in your life. That's the most important thing. And adding to it by way of the media is only going to be more annoying for you because people are just going to continue to reach out to you, make sure you're okay, ask a lot of questions, dig on things. We're in the media, so it's great for us. But now when it's real life stuff like this, he's giving us too much.
Well,
he has
to talk to the media, Ev.
I know. Well, then I'm never gonna tell an athlete to stick to a sport. In this specific case, I do think sticking to the X's and O's is not the worst thing for him because all we're gonna do is gonna speculate about, are you okay? And I don't know that he wants that right now. I think that's pretty clear. He does not want that. But he's leaving that open. Cece, you played 11 years. What are we supposed to believe? There was never real life stuff that was more important than the X's and O's for you going on? Of course there was. And I understand you didn't play quarterback, but you were a team captain of a Super Bowl team. Yeah. People asked you questions. You probably never wanted to, especially here in New York or there in New York or Dallas, you never wanted to add fuel to the investigation of your life. Like, oh, what's going on with Canty? Oh, Canty said this. Let's go look into this.
Yeah, I think the interesting part about what you're bringing up is that as a player, you're excited about football when something is not right in your personal life, right? You're even more motivated to get to the building because you have the opportunity to escape the real life stuff that's weighing on you. But when football no longer serves as an escape for football players, when, in between the white lines is no longer a sanctuary, that's when you have to question what the hell the organization is doing. And I think that's the part where Cincinnati, as an organization, has to try to solve for. You can't fix everything that's going on in Joe Burrow's life, but you can fix the football angle of it and make the building a place that he wants to show up at. And I think that's what they have to focus on, and the first step to that is firing Zach Taylor. I don't know too many coaches not coming off their first year that are able to survive double-digit loss seasons and multiple seasons outside looking into the playoffs. So that's the first step for Cincinnati.
More on that to come. A Thursday night showdown in the NFC West tonight. We'll get to that next. We're on Sportsmanlike.